Hey guys, Derek here again with part two of my Game Boy collection. So this is going to be my Game Boy Color games, and yeah, let's go. So this is my original Game Boy Color, and I had the lime green. All right, well that's not going to focus apparently. Anyways, I remember getting this and then seeing that on the back and being like, "Yep, uh, getting to play Link's Awakening in color. That's probably something that I want to investigate." So I ended up getting this. I'm pretty sure it was either Christmas or birthday. So I also ended up getting one of the rose-colored gaming, like kind of modified Game Boy colors. So this one has like a better screen on it and like better buttons, and it's colored like the DMG-01. So that's pretty cool, but I don't think it beats my original Game Boy Color. All right. So first game up, it should look pretty familiar for my Game Boy Hidden Gems video. It's an RFX interactive game called Ants Racing. It's a pretty fun racing game. It's kind of like RC Pro Am, and like it's not stellar and it's not awful. So I guess there's that. Next game up is Conker's Pocket Tales. This is a game based off of Conker, Rare's infamous squirrel at this point, but this is before he had his bad fur day. This was kind of like a family game, like a kids game, where you just go out and find a bunch of crap. And yeah, it's nothing like Conker's bad fur day. Next one up is another RFX interactive game, Dinosaur Us. This is the platforming RPG starring a dinosaur where you can find other dinosaurs and use their abilities and stuff. Pretty cool game. It's kind of cryptic and requires a lot of grinding. So there's that. And then this game was only released in Europe, maybe Japan too, but it didn't release in the U.S. Next game up, a game I sink a lot of my time into. Like I didn't have a lot of Game Boy Colors when I was a kid, and yeah, so this game was one of my original games, and probably the first Dragon Warrior Dragon Quest game I actually played too. And yeah, I sink a lot of time into this game, and I used to really like it. Next game up is another RFX interactive game. That's going to be Inspector Gadget. This is probably one of my least favorite of the RFX interactive games. Like color wise, like I like the animation in it, but this game it's kind of monotonous, I guess. Yeah, like what was the other one? Igor, whatever. I'll get to it at some point. But there was one game that I just absolutely didn't like. All right, then we've got Magical Drop. I like the Magical Drop games. I'm trying to remember what compilation Magical Drop 3 is on a compilation disc. Might be Taito Legends 2 or what was the one on the Wii? There's one on the Wii. I'm trying to see if I can see it. Anyways, Magical Drop 3 is on a compilation disc for a 6th or 7th gen console, and it's pretty cheap and it's pretty fun. But yeah, it was pretty cool to run across this game for the Game Boy Color, so this game's pretty cool. Then we've got Merlin, which I think is probably the best RFX interactive game for the Game Boy. And it's a side scrolling platforming game with kind of like shooter elements in it. I just got a manual back here, nothing else to really show. But yeah, this game was released in Europe only, kind of hard to find complete in box. We've got R-Type DX. It's a better shmup on the Game Boy Color, and it's pretty much what you would expect from an R-Type game. It looks really cool. The music's pretty cool. Like it plays like R-Type would play, and it's on the Game Boy. Then we have Resident Evil Gaiden. This is a fairly sought after Game Boy Color game. Prices on this one are kind of up there, and I don't know if the prices are really warranted. I guess it's fairly cool that it's more of a survival horror game than I guess a lot of handheld iterations are, except for the one on the DS, which is like a straight port of the PlayStation game. But it's still pretty good, a pretty good game. If you ever run across a copy of this game for a good price, I'd suggest picking it up, especially if you're a collector. But I probably wouldn't pay 3 digits for that game. Then we have Project S11, which is a Sunsoft shooter on the Game Boy. It's pretty cool. Like it looks really good, and then the music's pretty decent. And this was a game I picked up when I was getting into all the Sunsoft games on the Famicom and the NES, and I wanted to see what the handhelds had to offer. So it's pretty cool. This one is probably a hidden gem. Like you don't hear many people talk about it, but it's a pretty cool game. Then this is another one of my original Game Boy Color games. It's a side-scrolling, kind of like beat 'em up platformer. I did not like this game at all when I was a kid. Like this, since I had so few options to play, I would play it a lot. But this game was very frustrating to me, and I thought it was like very unfair at the time. I haven't played it lately. I don't know if it's just because I was a kid and this game was hard to me, but I used to absolutely hate this. But I used to really like Spawn, so I like the box art. And we have Tonic Trouble, another RFX interactive game, platformer. Very hard to see the main character just due to him kind of being like Vector Man. Like he didn't have a solid mass body, he's just kind of like floating parts. And him being almost the same color as the backgrounds and stuff, but part of the RFX interactive games. Toonsylvania, that was the game I was trying to think of. This is probably my least favorite of the RFX interactive games. Just it was a very boring and kind of bland game, but nonetheless, I had to have it since it was RFX interactive. And then my last two games up are games that I'm pretty sure that you probably figured I would have. And that's Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Season, and Oracle of Ages. So it's kind of like the Pokemon of Legend of Zelda games. You had to have both of them in order to properly beat the game. And items that you get in one game, you could use in the other to get, I think it was to get farther into some other spots or secrets or something. I don't know. It's been a long time since I played these games. But yeah, these are probably some of the other sought after games on the Game Boy Color. Price is nowhere near as bad as Resident Evil, so you could probably still find these ones at decent prices. But anyways, guys, that's my Game Boy Color collection. Video went a lot faster than my original Game Boy collection. But I guess the next one up will be Game Boy Advance, and I might break that one up into two videos just because my Game Boy Advance collection is pretty big. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video, and take it easy. Later.